Welcome to myprojectbazaar.com. Our process title is Efficient High Utility Pattern Mining for Establishing Manufacturing Plants with Sliding Window Control. Now we are going to discuss about our process abstract. In industrial areas, understanding the preference of customers is one of the important consideration for establishing profitable product manufacturing plants. As one of the approaches in pattern mining, high utility pattern mining has been employed to find a set of products creating high profits by considering the purchase quality and the price of the each products. So in this regard, high utility pattern mining can be useful to establish profitable product manufacturing plants that allow a corporation to maximize its revenue. So for establishing manufacturing plants, we also needed to understand the recent preference of customers from stream data, so which are uh, continually generated without the limitations. Okay, so in this paper we propose a novel algorithm and list structure for finding high utility patterns over data streams on the basis of a sliding window mode. Unlike existing algorithms, the proposed algorithm does not consume huge computational resources for verifying candidate patterns, because it can avoid the generation of candidate patterns. Therefore, the algorithm efficiently works in complex dynamic systems. So experimental results obtained from various sets using real world data sets show that the proposed algorithm outputs data for and methods in terms of runtime, memory usage and scalability. So now we are going to discuss about our process flow diagram. So this is our flow diagram. First of all, we are going to load our data set for our entire process. So the next, after loading the data set, we have to find the transaction. Okay, so transaction is one of the action. Here we will find. Okay, after find the transaction, we have to find out the absolute utility. What is the meaning of absolute utility? Means first of all we are know about the utility. So utility is the measure of preference over some set of goods. Okay, it represents satisfaction experienced by the consumer of good. So in absolute utility means refers to the ability of a party to produce a greater quantity of a product or good or service than using the same amount of resources. Okay, while we have to find the absolute utility, at the same time we have to find the quality of the product or events and the profit of the unit, and find the value of the absolute utility. Okay, so after calculating the absolute utility, we have to find out the transaction utility. So transaction utility is associated with the purchase or sales. It's called transaction utility. Okay, so it represents the pleasure or a displeasure associated with the financial terms of the deal. Okay, it's the functions of the difference between the selling price and the reference price. So in transaction utility, we have to find out the utility of the transaction and number of transaction. So after finding the transaction utility, we have to find out the high utility item set is based on the transaction utility. Okay, after finding the high utility item set, then we have to find out the HTWIV. It stands for high transaction weighted utility item set. Okay, after finding it is the information based on the to find the TWU. So T means transaction weighted utility. Okay, and to find TWDC, so we have to find out the closure value. Closure means nearest value of the particular product or event, whatever it may be. So these results are based on the HTWIV results. Okay, so after finishing the items, then we have to find out the closed item sets. So after calculating the closed item set, and then we have to add the new transaction of the particular user, and it will be quality will be added, and then finally we have to show our results in the graphical manner like runtime and memory usage and scalability results. So So let's we see the demo of our process. First of all, we are going to run our homepage.java. Just right click and give run file. When you need running before we must to on our WAM server. Okay, so this is WAM server. Just on your WAM server. So efficient high utility pattern mining for establishing manufacturing plants with sliding window control. This is our title of our process. Okay, just to click on the image, it will be show the next frame. So first of all, we are going to load our data set. So so this is the item number, item ID and item name. So profit unit. So okay, this is our data set. Then we have to click next. So find out the transaction input set. So next processes, we have to find out the absolute utility. So I already told in absolute utility we have to find out the quality, profit unit and attribute utility value. Okay, then click next. So find out the attribute values results and then click next. So find out the transaction utility. So transaction, the maximum number of transaction is 73, which will be calculated successfully. And then click so just click validation. So now we are going to know about the number of transaction. So the number of transaction of this particular product level is 51. So just click this is transaction utility, transaction ID and utility value. So then next click next button. So now we have to calculate our higher utility item set. So it is calculated based on the transaction utility value. Okay, so after calculating the high utility item set, so then click next. So just we have to enter the high utility number 3, and here we have to enter. So in this section we have to give high tr3. Okay, so after, so it will now we are going to find out our HTUWI value. So just we have to click value, then we have to find out the closed item set value, and it is the transaction of HUI, and then click the next button. So here we have to retrieve our result from the CHUI. Okay, it will be calculated successfully. Then we have to show our results. Then next we are going to calculate our premising items, which is based on the item set. So here we have to calculate the minimum utility set, and this is the maximum utility set. Then click next. Now we are here I will add the some any one of the transaction ID. So give the transaction ID and select any one of the item and give any one of the ID, means it will added successfully. Okay, then we have to create our, so first of all we are going to calculate our scalability result, which is high when compared to existing system. Okay, then second one is memory usage of our process will be reduced, and then runtime of the process it will take less time. Okay, so demo is completed. Thank you for watching this video.